the number 11 seeded Florida State Seminoles. This is a team that got the best of the draw to go up against the number 14 seeded Boston College Eagles, a team, like I said, that has not won a game in the ACC, 0-18 in the regular season, hasn't won a game in 2016. Last one was December 30th, 2015. So you look at Florida State, and this is the matchup that they wanted. Florida State, if they are to get hot, is one of those teams that's very dangerous, because after this game, if they're able to get past Boston College, which I believe they will in the 11-14 matchup, they would be going on to play number 6 Virginia Tech, and anything can happen in that game between Virginia Tech and Florida State, two teams that really could stand to get hot in this ACC tournament, and I believe both of them are capable of doing so. The big wins for Florida State this season are against Virginia, where they had a 7-point victory in regulation, and Notre Dame, where in regulation they beat them by 21 points. Notre Dame is a 4 seed in this year's ACC tournament in 2016, and Virginia is a 2 seed. So you're talking about 2 teams in the top 4 of the ACC going into the ACC tournament that have double byes have been defeated by Florida State, the 11 seed this season. So that says a lot about Florida State and their ability and their reach to get to some of the teams on the top of the ACC, which obviously, like I stated, Virginia and Notre Dame. But they're 2-5 overall against the top 25. This is how Florida State looks as far as how they played against the teams below them, as well as Georgia Tech that was right there with them in the ACC. So when we look at the bottom of the ACC, Florida State an 11 seed. When we look at going up against the 12 seed NC State, they're 2-0 against them, 7-point win and a 4-point win during the ACC regular season. Against number 13 Wake Forest, they had a 20-point victory. Against number 14 BC, they had a 10-point victory. But against number 10 Georgia Tech, who is just a step above Florida State in the ACC tournament, they lost by 6. So they are defeating the teams below them, but that Georgia Tech, that's a team that they have to be able to get those wins against. Florida State, like I said, has done some good things against Virginia, against Notre Dame. They're 2-5 against the top 25. They split with Syracuse, who's a team that's fighting to get in. If Florida State is to defeat Boston College, they would have to go on and defeat a team like Virginia Tech, and then they start to make a case for themselves in the NCAA tournament, which I think is very doable for this Florida State team. Their top scorers, freshman backcourt, arguably the best freshman backcourt that some people, can come out and say here in the ACC. And when you look around the country as well, when you look at their output, the backcourt of guards, Dwayne Bacon and Malik Beasley, both are averaging just shy of 16 points per game. So they are giving 32 points a game basically every single game for Florida State. They're spotting them 32 points, these two freshman guards, and they're both getting over 5 rebounds a game to go with that as well. So halfway to a double-double, and actually three-quarter way to a double-double each game when you look at 16 points and about 5 rebounds a game for Dwayne Bacon and Malik Beasley, who wreaked havoc on Syracuse. Syracuse was pushing back in that regular season finale for Florida State at home in Tallahassee, and the regular season finale for Syracuse on the road at Florida State. And Malik Beasley and Dwayne Bacon, these are the guys that know how to get it done. They know what they're doing. They don't play like freshmen. They're very dangerous. This is a freshman duo that I think if you get past Boston College with which is my expectation Florida State will do in the ACC tournament. Once they get past that, when you play up against a Virginia Tech, if they get past that, then you're looking at a Florida State team that can become very, very dangerous. The longer that they are allowed to stay in the ACC tournament, the more case they make for themselves, and the more that they show the ACC and the NCAA that they're a force to be reckoned with, because they should be. When you look at the players that they have, about 45% of the shots or better are going in when they're taken by Dwayne Bacon and Malik Beasley as freshmen. Can't forget about sophomore guard Xavier Rattan-Mays, XRM as some people like to call him. He is the 3rd double-digit scorer for this team this season, averaging just shy of 12 points a game. And then senior center, who doesn't get talked about enough, Boris Bojanovsky, who has 6 points a game and just shy of 5 rebounds a game. This is a guy who's a 7+ footer. He's giving you a lot of good things inside just by putting a body inside to alter some shots. He's gotten better within the last couple seasons of where he was in the ACC tournament when I met him to where he is today. Boris Bojanovsky is somebody that people remember in Greensboro getting that shot as the time was winding down getting to the basket and making that shot to help Florida State in the past. This is somebody that you don't want to underestimate. I believe some people still may underestimate him, but he is somebody who, when you have players like Dwayne Bacon and Malik Beasley and XRM, and Booker as well, when you have those guys, a guy like Boris can clean up at the rim, so you have to watch out for that, and you can't teach size as well. The head coach, Leonard Hamilton, is in his 14th season with the Florida State Seminoles. He has won more games at Florida State than any other coach that's come before him as a Seminoles head coach, so congratulations to him for that. At least 20 wins in 7 of the prior 13 years going into this 14th season. The team has 18 wins overall right now, so in order to get to 20 wins this time, in order to make it 20 wins in 8 of 14 seasons for Leonard Hamilton at Florida State, they have to defeat Boston College, and they're going to have to defeat Virginia Tech, and these are doable games for them. I think that Virginia Tech-Florida State matchup in the second round is going to be a very, very strong matchup, and I'm very much looking forward to that matchup. 2012 ACC Tournament champions under Leonard Hamilton. I don't think they're going to get there this year, but I do believe that if they can get a victory, you obviously have to take down Boston College, and if you go past, but if they lose to Boston College, which I don't think Florida State will, we're talking about, let's say, worst case scenario, if they lose to Boston College, they're not getting into the NCAA tournament. If they defeat Boston College and they go up against Virginia Tech and they win that game, now we're talking about a potential NCAA tournament team, and Syracuse has to watch out for this, because teams like Florida State in your conference, if they get wins over Virginia Tech and they move on from there, these are the teams that can bump you out if you don't take care of business. So Florida State in control of their destiny. I do believe that they have some more to show out there, but this is a dangerous team in the ACC tournament in 2016.